Hi children, welcome back to our history lessons. This is our fourth class. In the last classes, we were discussing about the sources of history, and we had seen the historians are depending on manuscripts, then inscriptions, then archaeology, archaeological evidences, so on and so forth, finding out historical events. And these things are available, especially in some archives. Let us see. Let's start from page number 4. Historians and their sources. Historians use different types of sources to learn about the past depending upon the period of their study and the nature of their investigation. They are depending on different things to know about the past. For example, you read about rulers of the Gupta dynasty and Harshavardhana. In the last class, in classes you have studied about Harshavardhana, Ashoka, so and so, especially about the rulers of Harshavardhana dynasty. Dynasty, I told you the meaning, dynasty, a lineage of the family of kings. In this book, we will read about the following 1000 years from roughly 700 to 1750. That means from the advent of Islam to India, from that period to advent of English people. During these 1000 years, what happened in India? That is what we are going to discuss in this book. You will notice some continuity in the sources used by historians for the study of this period. When we analyze this period, this 1000 years, from 700 to 1750, we will notice a lot of continuity. That means from the past it is going in a continuous way. Maybe the dynasties or some historical events, they are all going in a continuous form. That we can notice. We are going to study it, we are going to see it. Okay. They still rely on coins, inscriptions, architecture and textual records for information. To study about this period, we have to depend on manuscripts, archaeological evidences, coins, archaeological evidence such as coins and artifacts, so and so things we are depending on. But there is also considerable discontinuity. Although many events are happening in a continuous manner, many other events are not like that. Sometimes the history is broken. What happened after a particular event, we have no idea. Or what happened before some particular events. There are many events like that also. Events which don't have any continuation. That also is there. Most of the events are in a continuous form, but many are not in such a manner. The number and variety of textual records increased dramatically during this period. After 700, what happened? The writing technique developed, and people began to write more books and publish more books. So a lot of materials we are getting from this period. Many books that we are using now, all the epics, so things were compiled during these days because paper began to be people began to get paper abundantly, and writing ink or so things were abundant. So due to these things, writing techniques increased or developed during this period. So so people also began to write history. They are slowly displaced by other types of available information. So the older methods were replaced by newer methods. Through this period, paper gradually became cheaper and more widely available. This is one important development that took place during this period. This period means 700 to 1750. During this period, paper became a very common thing. Before it was not like that. Paper was a very rare material because it was very difficult to make paper. But the technique of making paper developed, and people began to make out paper in large quantities. So paper became cheap and easily available. And when paper became easily available, people began to write so many things. So when paper became easily available, what happened? People used to write holy texts. Then people, the writers, they purchased the paper in large quantity and they wrote so many literature, especially the holy books like Ramayana, Mahabharata, Quran, Bible, so on some things. People began to write. Then chronicles or rulers, chronicle. What do you mean chronicle? Factual written account of important historical events in the order of their occurrence. സംഭവിക്കുന്ന ആ ഓർഡറിലെ കാര്യങ്ങൾ എഴുതി സൂക്ഷിക്കുന്നതിനെയാണ് ക്രോണിക്കിൾ എന്ന് പറയുക. അപ്പോൾ ആ കാലത്തെ വലിയൊരു ലിറ്ററേച്ചർ ശാഖയായിരുന്നു, ഒരു കലാശാഖയായിരുന്നു ക്രോണിക്കിൾ റൈറ്റിംഗ്. Many people were there to write chronicles, the history of kings. So such things were there. So people are writing much more than before, because papers are easily available. Then what else people are writing? Holy texts, chronicles of rulers, then letters and teachings of saints. When holy people, the saints, great sannyasis, when they speak something, some other people were hearing and writing what they said. They are teaching. People were writing in books. Then petitions and judicial records. When people had to appeal something to the king, they are writing petition. Then again, judicial record. There were courts held in every parts of the country. So the court procedures were properly documented. It was written down very clearly. So that also became record. Then and registers of accounts and taxes. Then government, the emperor or king, they were collecting taxes, and whatever the taxes, how to collect tax, how they are spending the taxes, all these things the accountants were writing and keeping as records. So all these things are sources of history now. Manuscripts were collected by wealthy people, rulers, monasteries, and temples. But remember, whatever the documents they are making, they were not printing it, because printing technology was not developed during this period. It was only after 1500 printing technology started in Europe, and it came to India much later. So anyway, the period we are mentioning here up to 1750, the printing technology was not there in India. All sorts of books that we were using were handwritten up to this period. Printing technology in India developed only after the advent of Britishers. Only after Britishers came to India, printing technology started in India. Anyway, whatever the books we have before that are handwritten, manuscripts. Okay. Now, sometimes you cannot read your friend's handwriting and are forced to guess what is written. Now, when we follow manuscripts, there is a very big problem. What is that? It is not easily readable. It is not like printed books. You may be very familiar with it. When you have to imagine you are absent to school for one day, and next day you have to copy the answers that you are given in the classes, and you are borrowing a notebook from your friend and you are taking it home. But after taking it home, you will find it very difficult to follow his or her writing, because his handwriting is very tough to read. That is a problem with the manuscript. But printed books don't have such a problem. Anyone can read, because letters are in a standard form, so we can easily understand in a book. But manuscripts are different. It is handwritten, and definitely they will be very difficult to read out. Now, as a result, there are small but significant differences in a copy of your friend's work. So in that case, what happened? You are copying from your friend book. There are some particular words that you do not understand. So you are imagining this may be like that. You are writing according to your way, and your book is taken by somebody else. And there also, the friend who took your book also cannot read what you have written clearly. So he or she is writing at his or her will. So manuscript has such a problem. When it is copied from person to person, sometimes the whole meaning will change. Sometimes the whole sentence will change. Sometimes the whole book will change. Such changes are taking place when we copy a manuscript. But printed books don't have such problem. So So these kind of variations took place in interpreting history. So when we interpret the manuscript of some particular writers, some scribes, these problems are there. So history even, so the history we talk about today has different versions because of these kind of problems. As scribes copied manuscripts. Who is a scribe? A person who is writing by hearing. When in the past, especially during this period, the period starting from 700 to 1750. I told you in India we did not have printing technology, yet we were producing large number of books. How it was possible? Because the emperors hired scribes. Scribe means a person who is copying document. So in every court, in every palaces, there were many scribes to copy down the documents. Many documents are there. The order of kings is there, chronicles are there, court order is there, tax order is there. So many things are to be written. So the scribes were copying down it in a proper manner in a book. So the people who were hearing and writing it were called scribes. Meaning a scribe is a person who copies out documents by hearing. Okay, so these as scribes copied manuscript, they also introduced small changes. Sometimes when the scribes are copying, even from the original text, original version, they are making their own changes. Maybe by mistake or intentionally, however maybe there are changes when they copy the document. These small differences grew over centuries of copying until manuscripts of the same text became substantially different from one another. So when especially the religious text, people kept on copying. So when copying is taking place, every time some sort of change is taking place. So sometimes the whole meaning of the book is changing, that we have seen before. This is a serious problem because we rarely find the original manuscript of the author today. And if we want to know what is the correct version, it may not be possible. Why? Because we don't know where is the original manuscript. It will be impossible to find out. So we have to just believe what is written. So such changes are, such versions are there in history also. When history is interpreted by different people, the same event may be narrated in different ways. That is happening in history. On occasion, authors revised their chronicles at different times. Even that also takes place. Sometimes the same chronicler or the same writer, when he is narrating a particular event or when he is describing a particular person, he himself is changing the original or the document he wrote second time from the original one. That is also happening. That means he is writing two different versions of the same event. That is also happening. One example is given here. The 14th century chronicler. Who is a chronicler? A person who is writing chronicles. He is a chronicler. A 14th century chronicler. His name is Ziauddin Barani. Wrote his chronicles first in 1356 and another version 2 years later. So in that year, in 1356, Ziauddin Barani wrote a particular chronicle of the emperor. Then 2 years later, he himself changed the version. So entirely different event is narrating there. Now, about the existence of the first version until 1960s, it remained lost in the large library collections. Okay, now we will see the remaining in the next class. Thank you.